Hey everybody, Jeff here with Project Next. Just got home from a long day on the road and I got a little bit of daylight left this afternoon, so I wanted to get out here and working on my current project. I'm adding a lean-to onto the side of my shed that we built last fall. Used to be in this spot. I had an old 18 by 24 shed, and been here almost 30 years, really showing its age, and I just really needed some more room as I've grown with the tractor stuff that I've got. So anyway, we tore down the old one and built the 24 by 48 and got that finished over the winter months. And now I am adding this side. It's 10 foot out, it's 48 foot long. So this afternoon I want to get finished up with doing my hurricane hangers and doing two types. Well, I've already used these. These are for hanging the joist, and then I'm adding the ones where the joist set up on top of the header, and that'll be this one here. Get these at Lowe's. They're not that expensive. And so anyway, I want to get these installed this afternoon, try to get this knocked out of the way. So here we go. Well, as you can see, it doesn't take a really long period of time to pop those in, and sure gives you a relief of mind knowing that you've got them installed. Here where we are, in fact, right now, we have a hurricane, or it's been downgraded to tropical storm, is heading our way. Even though I don't have my roof on yet, I think it's kind of ironic that I'm putting these on the day before it hits. It's a beautiful day today, but tomorrow we're supposed to have some pretty bad weather. So anyway, I'm just glad to get this part of it done. Got a couple of more stringers to hang. I think I'll reposition the camera, and I'm hoping to get everything finished up. So tomorrow there's a company not far up the road that can do cut the metal roofs, and they actually will cut it to custom length. And so I'm going to get my order in for that and hopefully pick it up so I can get the roof put on over the weekend. Hey guys, I got to thinking about something I had said earlier in my video, and I was describing and telling you guys about these, which I inadvertently, don't know why I said this, I call these hurricane hangers. Duh, brain fart. Anyway, these are joist hangers. Same, everything I told you, same true, just called these by the wrong name, and coincidentally, these are hurricane straps. Both of them are used to give you a good mechanical bond, mechanical tightness to when you are mounting and putting all this together. Makes things hold together, stay together nice and tight for a long, long time instead of the old way of doing it with nails. But anyway, just wanted to clarify. Make mistakes, we're all human, but anyway, I called this wrong. Anyway, just wanted to clarify. All right, hey guys, Jeff here, back with Project Next. It's a few days down the road since earlier in my video, as I told you back then, I needed to order my metal. I apologize for not bringing you guys along for that part, but I've had a couple technical difficulties. As you know, I'm new to YouTube, but I wanted to kind of catch you up to date and then show you some of my finishing up work that I wanted to do on this lean-to project. So I'm going to grab the camera here, follow with me, and I'll give you guys a quick rundown on where I am now. So as I told you, I was able to get with a company who custom makes this metal. This all comes in a big roll, and they run it through a machine, and it puts all the bends in it, and it turns it into 3-foot wide pieces. So I got all the metal on, and I'm gonna go up kind of high so you guys can see here. And got all the metal attached, got all the screws locked down, and I got all my trim work up on this end. And it went really easy, really well. I'm really pleased with the way that it turned out, but I'm still, as you can see down on this corner, not finished. And if you will remember earlier in the video, I had told you I left this part of the thing unfinished and untrimmed, and that's because if I needed to, I was going to do some adjustments and some squaring up, and I ended up needing to do that. So it was just not even an inch or so off. So I did the fine tuning, got all of this locked down, and so I've got 2 things I need to do before I put my trim work on. One of the things is to trim the end of the metal just a very little bit, and also I've got to trim the 2x4s, and then I can finish putting on my trim work on. One of the things I want to show you, this is the coolest attachment. It's made by DeWalt. This is an attachment that goes on the end of your driver, your impact driver, and it turns it into a cut and shear. I love this device. It works really, really well. And so one of the things I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to nip the end of this tin off. And what I'm going to do is this last ridge, I need to take just a very little bit off, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of lip so once I put the trim on, the water, if it was to run underneath, it couldn't get down to the wood. So see if I can get that knocked out real quick now. Anytime you're dealing with metal, even though they're smooth edges, they're still sharp. Always use gloves. Okay guys, so got all of the 2x4s stringers cut at length, and so the last thing I want to do before I put the metal and all the trim on is I need to lock in the stringers on that very end one. So always remember when you are doing, especially dealing with softwood, and I'm using pine. Pine is a very soft wood. You want to pre-drill before you run a screw in. If not, it's almost guaranteed if the wood doesn't split when you run the screw in, it will split sometime shortly after. So I'll pre-drill and then I'll run my screws in. All right, that locks in that whole end piece. So now we're ready to go back with the metal. And then the part coming after that is what I'm really excited to show you guys, is finishing out the trim work. It just absolutely amazes me. Those little pieces of trim that you put up makes all the difference in the world. It's not only structural, but to keep the weather out, keep the metal locked down, but it also looks really pretty. So can't wait to show you that here in a few minutes. Okay, so metal is back up on top, and I'm going to go lock it down. As with the wood on the metal, depending on the type of screw, the screws I'm using, you really need a pre-drill. I think some of the guys have the technique they can pop them on through, but I like to pre-drill. I always use a smaller bit than what your size is, so it pulls up nice and tight. So do a pre-drill, then run the screw in. Be sure don't run it down too hard. You will over collapse the rubber washer, and over time it'll start to leak. So anyway, let me get these knocked in. All right, guys, the thing I'm most excited to show you this afternoon and what I've been working toward to get to this point, putting up the trim. The thing I love about it is it covers up your wood. With everything color coordinated, it just makes it look a really nice professional finish. By covering up the wood, it protects it, keeps it from dry rotting long term. The posts are treated, but everything else is just regular lumber. So we want it to be protected and last as long as possible so it doesn't rot. And so anyway, that's, and also by overlapping, and you'll see how it all comes together, it'll keep the wind from trying to lift these corner pieces off. One of the things that I want to stress is I love nailing, there's no problem, but I love using screws for a bunch of reasons. Number one, I think they hold better. Number two, if you ever have to come back and fix something, you can easily undo and fix it and put it all back together. It's real easy. But the other thing that I love is when we are wanting to get a good metal bond, metal hookup, so to speak. And so if you've ever looked at old barns that have been assembled with the technology they had in their day, which was just nails, how many old barns have you seen that the ends are loose? They're flapping, they're either broken, they're missing, and the weather's just going right in. Well, with the new technology, and I say new, I mean this has been out for years, but it's way new compared to the shed that I had here that I just tore down that was 30 years old. As the days heat and cool, things expand, contract, the metal, the wood, the nails work their way loose, and then all the joints become loose. Then you get a good storm come with a lot of wind. It lifts and it keeps lifting, and the next thing you know, your metal is all loose and flapping, and you've got water coming in, wood rot going on, and just the structure is starting to very much dilapidate, and eventually will come down. The thing I love about doing all this trim work is we're going to minimize that, and we're going to make sure that all of the metal, this way this is put together, it can withstand much more higher wind combination and will last for way many more years. So it's what I'm excited about showing you. Now, one of the things I want to tell you, I'm not an expert carpenter by no means, and some of these tricks that you learn, you don't have to be an expert carpenter. So one of the things that you're going to see is when I go to put this up, this is at an angle, this is cut perpendicular. How do we figure this? Well, a great carpenter would use his stuff, and he would figure the angle, he would come cut it. Much simpler way to do it is when you go put this up here, the bottom is going to touch the wood first. This is not. If you run your ruler up, in my particular case, I know it's 1.25 inches. So this is 1.25 inches from touching. So all we're going to do is come on this end, we're going to come in 1.25 inches, make a mark, we're going to cut our angle, and then it should be very close. So let me get that done real quick now. Okay guys, final piece. If I got all my cuts right, it should go right up, be able to bolt it down, and we'll call this job done. Can't say I can call it quick enough because it ain't nothing but hot. Anyway, here we go. Wish me luck. Whew. Like I said, it is some kind of hot. It's up in the 90s with high humidity. Guys, I want to take you through a walk around real quick. I still got a few more screws to do, but I think you guys can see how the project has come together. With the way that trim piece overlays, there's no way water or the wind can get under now, and that is with all the bends in that metal. It's very strong, and it'll keep the ends from the wind blowing it up and breaking it loose over time. So as you can see, it's a really great method on how to lock everything in. You can see up here the top comes out farther. It runs down to what's called a drip edge. The water drips farther off, and then if it touches, it just falls away. It's not going to get the way it's lapped. So anyway, I think for an amateur one-man band here that I am, I'm kind of proud of the way it turned out. I hope you guys like it too. So anyway, that is my lean-to for one side done. Anyway, here we are. That job's done, and I sure am glad. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys, again, I'm just passing on tips that I've learned along the days. And get up and get a project done around your house. It's very rewarding when you get finished. Anyway, guys, I'm new to YouTube, so please, I hope you enjoyed. I really want to build my channel up. I'm hoping to try to do one a week for now, and as I get better and faster with editing, I hope I'll do even more. We'll be doing projects from here at the homestead and at all three of my kids. As you know, with kids, they got a list a mile long of, Dad, can you come help me with such and such? So want to bring you along the way on all the projects we'll be doing. So anyway, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing with your friends to help me build the channel. For now, we're going to check out. I'm going to go cool off. And thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks so much.